Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Minnesota Twins discussion video. We do these videos during the day, the morning, before Twins games, at night. It's just another video to get out for you guys, more discussion. Obviously, we're all Twins fans here. I like talking about the Twins. You guys like talking about the Twins. It's baseball. It's the Twins. It's a fun time. So, that's what we do during these videos. And today's video is going to be another one about pitching. I know I've done a lot of these in the past couple of days. Obviously, our pitching has been very good for 4 of the 5 guys. I don't want to, talk trash on Michael Pineda a lot more, but he has really struggled, and hopefully if I do enough of these, the Twins will figure it out and maybe use him as an opener, but no, I'm just kidding. I mean, I do think they should use him as the opener. You guys have seen that video already. If you haven't, go check it out, but for the most part, our pitching has been fantastic. I like winning 4 out of 5 games, 3 out of 5 games. Obviously, that's 600 to 800 baseball. That is incredible. The Red Sox last year finished 108 and 54, and that's 667 baseball. So, if the Twins can play at that level, that'd be great. The only downside is every time Michael Pineda gets out on the mound, we lose, and that's got to change. So, use him as the opener, 1, or 2. Hear me out here. This is what this video is for. I'm going to be talking about the pitching. We're going to go through all 5 guys. Why are those 4 guys successful? Berríos, Perez, Gibson, Odorizzi, and why is Pineda not successful? So we're going to go through that. But before I do get into that, the Twins have a 4-game lead in the division. Talked about that last night. But it is the largest division lead in the MLB. Now, I know a lot of people might say, oh, it's a trashy division. It's the worst division in baseball. I mean, you're not wrong. But, at the same time, you have to be good to win the division. The Twins are still on pace, the second best team in baseball right now, 1 game back of the Rays. You still have to be good to win the division. And 2, we're still the second best team in baseball. So just because we've played 7 games against division opponents. That's the least in our division. You can't tell me that that's why we're winning. We've played some good teams. So we're 4 games up in the division. That is the largest division lead in baseball. Good job, Twins. So, I mean, there's a reason, though. There's a reason for that. And that's our hitting and our pitching. Mainly our pitching. I want to say it's mainly our pitching. But our hitting has been, really well. We've hit 3 home runs on average in our games. Obviously, if it's a little bit skewed just because of the Baltimore series or when we hit 6 or 7 home runs in a game, but for the most part, we've hit 3 home runs in a game. We've scored 6 to 7 runs per game on average. That's definitely not something to, scoff at. That is definitely a good number. I tell you, you win when you score first, and you win when you score 6 runs. We're, 13-2 when we score 6 runs. We're 17-4 when we score first. Those are winning numbers. A lot of it is hitting, but it really relies on the pitching too. You guys know this. If you hit 20 home runs, 20 solo home runs in a game, you're still going to lose. Now granted, you could get singles and doubles, but we're strictly talking about this. 20 home runs in a game, you're going to lose if your opponents hit 21. If your opponents hit 19, you win. Doesn't matter how much the margin of victory is or the margin of loss is. A win is a win and a loss is a loss. So, while your hitting is important, if you allow that many runs, this is children talk right here. Obviously, you score more runs, you win the game. But that relies on our pitching. And we've been good, right? Like I said, we are playing 800-ish baseball right now, 600-ish baseball, depending on when Gibson shows up or not. But Odorizzi, Perez, and Berríos have been fantastic. Here's why. All of them are on the same consistent schedule. And now, all of the pitchers on the same consistent schedule every 5th day, right? But look at the pitching. Each individual has their own way of pitching, correct? Obviously, Perez, our only lefty, he really hammers in that cutter and the fastball. And then he goes to his off-speed pitch. That really works for him. Berríos gets ahead with his fastball, tries to use his other pitches, but sometimes they're not always there. Odorizzi just throws the ball in there as hard as he can. Gibson's more of a ground ball pitcher. Pineda, I don't really know what I've seen from him. The only thing I do know is look at their legs. So Berríos he's a fire guy. However, he used to throw 95 to 97 a couple years ago, maybe even as late as last year, through 95. He has really slowed down, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, people are still behind his 92 to 93 and 94 mile an hour fastball. It's just lost that degree. I don't think it's lost. He's just really focused on locating pitches. That's what I said. He gets ahead with his fastball. He locates. He's got a good stride, and his arm motion is very consistent. Same with Perez. Perez shortened his stride. Same with Odorizzi. Both of those guys did that I'm aware of. I'm not sure if Barrios did, but I would imagine if he's a tick under his normal fastball and he's locating more. So I know that Perez and Odorizzi have both shortened their stride. That same arm slot from Perez with the cutter, with the fastball, with the changeup, and his location, that's making him incredibly deceptive. We talked about that yesterday. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it already. Odorizzi, he's the same way. Fires in his fastball. He's not quite as good as Barrios. He doesn't have that big sweeping curve. He doesn't, go to his fastball all the time. He's really good at painting corners. He's really good at firing it in there, letting the defense work. Same with Gibson. Very much a ground ball pitcher. Very much a sinker pitcher. He's gone to his fastball a lot more this year. But overall, it works, right? Each of those guys have a set way that they've done things this year. What about Pineda? Pineda really hasn't developed himself into one of those positions. He gets a lot of fly ball outs. Sometimes that hurts him. He can throw like a sinker-ish kind of cutter in there. I know those are both opposite pitches, but you know what I'm saying. He throws it down in the zone, and he can get some ground balls. And he's also got some strikeout stuff. His changeup is very good when he's on. It comes from that same arm slot, as I said, with the fastball. But look at his stride. Look at his legs. By the third inning, when he starts to struggle, we talked about, it's like he's got 200 and some percentage when he faces guys through the first time in the order, which is like a 1-in-4 batter, so 2 hits the first time through. Second time, it's around 400. That's 400, 4 for, what's 400? 3 for 5. So there you go. 3 times a hitter is getting on base. And then, or no, two times out of 5. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. You know what I'm saying. And then the last time, 500, he is his percentage. So it keeps going up every time he faces the lineup another time. And while that's normal, his is way up. I mean, if you look at Cole from Houston, his goes down, which is, that's an outlier. But for Pineda to go up every time, obviously that's not good. That's why he should use the opener. But it's in his legs. So I know Justin Morneau talked about this. You look at Barrios, he can fire in 100 pitches, no problem. Yesterday, he had 93, I believe. Perez had 102 the day before that. Odorizzi's gotten to 100 sometimes, and they all go 6 to 7 innings. They look fine. Barrios could have gone out there yesterday for the 8th at 93 pitches. He looked great. I don't know why. I know why they didn't. Obviously, they want to use their bullpen, but it made sense, right? And now we finally get to Pineda. He looks tired after the 3rd inning. You look at his legs. He falls off a little bit more to the left side. Or, he really falls off. If you know what I'm talking about, he is like halfway to first base before he even lets go of the ball. And he looks completely gassed outside of those 3 innings. That's why it's important to use the openers, because he only has to go 3 innings and then he can be done. But he looks tired. His legs are almost like giving out on him. And he's a bigger dude. He's like 6'6", 203. No, he wouldn't be 300, I don't think. But he's a big guy. And to keep firing in there at that same rate, I understand that. He would get a little tired. But he's falling off. That makes his changeup, depending on where he wants to throw it, could go way inside, it could go way outside, it could bounce in the dirt, his fastball could sail on him. Those little things are what keeps him from doing well as well as the other pitchers. If he was able to drop 50 pounds, I don't know how much he weighs, that's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but 10, 15 pounds, gain some more muscle, he's a little bit older, probably not going to happen, but to really locate that changeup, that fastball, develop him in the legs more. Take a bike ride for a while. I don't know what would help him in particular. I'm not a athletic trainer or anything, but it starts in the legs. I think it was Justin Morneau who said the other day when he was pitching, or maybe it was Cott. There we go. Who was the pitcher, and he said, when Pineda was pitching, he looked tired. He said, hey, when I get pulled from a start in the third or fourth inning, I go down to the bullpen and start throwing more, because it's repetition. It's Barrios throws 100 pitches every day, or every time he pitches. Perez 100 pitches, Odorizzi 100 pitches, and then Pineda gets tired after 60 to 70. He's got to go down there and throw 30 more pitches to get his legs used to that. That's what he has to do. Like I said, if he lost 10 pounds, it might not be a bad thing, but it's just those little things that would allow him to, take a shorter stride. Fire in a changeup, it's going to go down instead of out to the side. That fastball could really start working on the corners. It all starts with the legs. So hopefully, maybe the Twins will watch this video. I don't know. But that's what I believe the problem for Pineda is that he's just too much arm. He's too much out of breath and tired before he gets to that second and third rotation. His legs just can't handle it. And then he starts falling all over the place, throwing pitches right down the middle. Instead of, you fall to the left. Yeah, you fall to the left and you throw that fastball in that outside corner, it's going to tail right back into that middle of the plate. They hit a 500-foot dinger off of it, and you lose. That's what I'm seeing. The problem is, maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys see? Like I said, it's just in his legs, and he's getting too tired. So, hopefully, he can work on that. Like I said, I'm giving him one more start in Detroit. Hopefully, he can win that game. But that's what I got for you today. I hope that made a lot of sense. If it didn't, ask questions down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about Pineda and the rest of, compared to the rest of the guys down in the comments. I want to see your comparisons and what your thoughts are. Obviously, that's what these videos are for, is to have a discussion, because we're all Twins fans here. But that's all I have for you today. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're a Twins fan, if you like baseball, if you like what I'm doing here, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you tonight for the game review for the final game in the Toronto series. We'll see you then.